Right, welcome back to another on-base baseball video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of On-Base Baseball. In this game, we're going to continue our Braves instant replay. This is a 2022 instant replay, and what that means is we replay the first game of every series in 2022. I'm using the projected roster sheet stats. These are using ZiPS projections, and I have recalculated all the values that we need to play on-base baseball. So we have our batting runs, we have our defensive values, which we have converted to the simple plus or minus here. And then we also have the speed rating, which requires a little bit of calculation on my part, but not too bad, as we don't have we're basing this off of BSR, which is base running runs, as opposed to the straight speed rating, which is what I use typically in the game. This game was played on June 2nd. This is against the Rockies in Denver. And let's get right into the ball game. Leading off for the Braves will be Acuna, DHing, Swanson at short, Ozuna hitting third and playing left, Riley batting cleanup and playing third base, Albies at second, Olson hitting sixth, Darno is catching and he's hitting seventh, Heredia is in right field, and the rookie Harris is in center field batting ninth. Going for the Braves is going to be Ian Anderson, the young, tall right-hander. The last replay game that we did, he pitched really well. So we'll see how he does in this game. For the Rockies, it's going to be Joe in left field, Blackman DHing, C.J. Cron at first, Rogers playing second base, McMahon at third, Grichuk is in right, Iglesias at shortstop, Hampson is hitting eighth and playing center field, and then Servin is the catcher. Pitching for the Rockies is going to be Austin Gomber, who is a lefty. He's got a 4.62 FIP. He can go 22 batters, so I expect us to get into the bullpen a little bit in this game, as Gomer is going to be pitching out of this third column. Anderson is going to be pitching also out of the third column. So chance for some fireworks here at Coors Field, and we'll see how this game plays out. Okay, so this is the Braves at the Rockies. June 2nd, 2022. This is game number 52 on the season for the Braves. I believe it's number 14, something like that, for our replay. And I don't have any statistics on the replay itself, but just playing through is kind of fun. This is really a dry run to test out projected roster sheets, which I plan to release before 2023. So when the 2023 ZiPS projections come out, I plan to release the entire season so that you can pre-play the season. Okay. All right, here we go. So Acuna, Swanson, and Ozuna will be leading off against the left-hander Gomer. We're using our modern game engine chart here, the same chart that we've been using for every one of the replays, or every one of the games in this replay. So Acuna faces off. That's a 3-4, and 3-4 to a 28. That's going to be a home run chance right off the bat. Home run or a strikeout if the D9 is an 8 or 9. The D9 is a 6. And so Acuna launches one deep into the left field stands, onto the concourse, 465 feet. And that is a bomb to begin the game. Braves take a 1-0 lead. Here's Dansby Swanson, 2-2 to Swanson, 2-2 to a 9. 2-2 is blank here for the pitcher. And a 2-2 to a 9 is a double or a triple if it's the D9 is an 8 or more. The D9 is an 8. And so he launches one deep to right center field. And that ball is going to roll forever, which we know happens at Coors Field. And Swanson slides in head first with a triple. So home run triple go the Braves. They're up 1-0, and here is a 5-6 to a 0. 5-6 to a 0 is going to be a strikeout. So out number 1. 1 out, runner at third base, and Austin Riley to the plate. A 3-6. A 3-6 off of a pitcher. Here is going to be a walk. So that'll put runners at the corners for Ozzie Albies with only 1 out. That's a 1-5. A 1-5 to a 7 is going to be a base knock. So that's going to drive in the run from third, and that's now a 2-0 lead for Atlanta. As Albies is the RBI single to right field. That'll bring up Matty Olson. Olson 1 out and 2 on. Already 2 in for the Braves. Here's a 5-6. 5-6 to a 33 would be a hit by pitch or a walk. The D9 is a 7, so that's going to be another walk. So rough start here for Gomber as he's got the bases loaded with only 1 out. And a 1-4 to Darno. 1-4 to Darno. Off the pitcher card is going to be a double. And that is going to break it open, as that's a 2-run double for Darno. And the score is now 4-0. That's going to push the runner to third base. So runners at second and third, still only 1 out. 4 runs in already for the Braves, and Heredia stands in. A 4-6 to a -7. 4-6 to a -7 is going to be a double play or strikeout. That's a strikeout, and so every out this inning has come via the strikeout. And it's 2 down with 2 on, and the youngster Michael Harris to the plate, a 1-5. 1-5 to a -5 is going to be another single. That's going to score the run from third. And we're going to hold the run. We're going to hold Darno and let Acuna bat again as the Braves bat around in this first inning. That's a 1-4. 1-4 is another double. And that's going to be big trouble. So that's 1 RBI. That pushes Harris to third. And so that's going to be an RBI double for Acuna, and wondering if we're going to get out of this first inning. As Dansby Swanson to the plate, a 2-4 to Swanson. 2-4 to a 9 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. So mercifully, the inning ends, but the Braves bring home 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs in a huge first inning as they take a 6-0 lead. Anderson trots out with a big lead against Connor Joe, Charlie Blackmon, and C.J. Crone. Here's a 1-3. Again, he's pitching out of this column, so it could be more fireworks. It's a 1-3 to a 4. That'll be a ground out. Right back to the pitcher. He sort of trots it over to first and underhands it to Olson for out number 1. Brings up Charlie Blackmon. There's a 1-4. 1-4 is going to be a double. So Blackmon reaches out and laces a double down the left field line, going the opposite direction. And he'll be at second base with 1 out. And it's C.J. Crone, the Rockies' best hitter. Here's a 2-5 to a 21. 2-5 to a 21 is going to be a flyout to left field with an error check. Left fielder is Ozuna. And that is going to be an error as Ozuna camps under it, but he can't squeeze it for the out, and so it's going to be an E7. And the runner is going to advance to third base on the error. So runners at the corners with 1 down. Here's a 2-6 to a -1. 2-6 to a -1 is going to be a ground out to the second baseman. Albies goes to short for 1. And let's check to see if Rogers beats it out. And he does beat it out. So 1-5, he was safe at first. So he's going to be safe there on a 4-6. That's going to bring in a run. as the Rockies get on the board with the fielder's choice after the error. So 6-1 is our score. That brings up McMahon. A 2-3 to a 0 is going to be a ground out with an error check, and that's a grounder to the first baseman Olson, and he has no issues, and he makes the play 3-1. This is out number 2 and out number 3. So 3 down. The Rockies do get 1, and the score is 6-1, and we're off barnstorming at Coors Field. 7 runs in the first inning. All right, so Ozuna, Riley, and Albies are going to be leading off against Gomber. We'll see if he can do a little bit better than the previous inning. Here's a 3-4 to a 0. A 3-4 to a 0 is going to be a double, and that's going to be ripped over the right fielder's head. Grichuk has no chance on that as it one-hops the base of the wall, and Ozuna is in standing up at second base. Brings up Austin Riley. It's going to be a fly ball to right center field, really deep, and Grichuk does get to this one, and he makes the out, but it's deep enough that Ozuna can tag up, so he's going to tag up on the F9, and that puts a runner at third base with 1 out, and Albies is up to the plate. He had an RBI single in his last at bat. It's a 2-3. This is going to be a ground out. Ground out to the second baseman. That's good enough to score the run. And excuse me, he's going to go 4-3 on the putout, and that's going to be 2 RBIs in 2 at-bats for Ozzy Albies, so good game for him. Nobody on and 2 out for Matt Olson. He walked and scored in his last at-bat. He's going to get another walk here. Have the same role as before, a 5-6, and to a player in this 30-plus column, a 5-6 is not a strikeout, it's a walk. Travis d'Arnaud, he had an RBI double, 2 RBI double in his last at-bat. Here's a 4-4. 4-4 to a 0 is going to be a base knock, so that's going to be his second hit of the day. That's going to push the runner to second base, and we're not going to force it with Olson as his speed is not very good. And the base hit is to left field, so everything in front of Olson. Here's a 3-6 to Heredia. 3-6 to a -7 is going to be a walk off of the pitcher's column. It's going to be a walk, so that's going to load the bases again. And let's see if Comer can get out of this mess facing Harris. Harris singled in his last at-bat. He's going to ground out here to the second baseman, and that's a ground out with an error check. So let's check the error. No error on the play. So we go 4-3 on the putout, and that is going to be the third out. Braves have batted around 2 times in only 2 innings. They get 1 run that inning with all that traffic. Gomer only gives up 1 run, but 7-1 is our score, and we head to the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Grichuk, Iglesias, and Hampson against Anderson. A 3-6 to a -1. That's going to be a walk off of Anderson's column. So it's a walk to Grichuk, runner at first base, nobody out with Iglesias up. That's going to be a 2-3. That's a grounder to the second baseman. And there's an error check. Let's check it on Ozzy. No error on the play. So we're going to go 4-6 to start the double play. It's going to be out number 1, and let's roll against Iglesias's speed. And 4-6-3, Ozzy to Swanson to Olson, and that's 2 down. Erases all the runners off the bases. Brings up Hampson, the center fielder. He's a -5 runs, batting runs. It's a 3-6 and another walk. So 2 walks now in the game for Ian Anderson. Several up here, 4, I believe, for Gomer. So walks are bounding in this early part of the game. That's what you're going to get from these last 2 columns. It's a lot of walks. which is really the difference between the good pitchers and the not good pitchers. So runner at first base, 2 outs, and Servin to the plate, a 1-4 to a -4. That's going to be a double off of the pitcher's column. And that double is going to send the runner to third. Let's go ahead and try to score Hampson and see if this is to left field. So Ozuna out in left field. A 1-6, he's safe. 7, 8, or 9, he'll be out at the plate, and he is out. So good play there. We're going to assume a 7-2 put out, and that's going to be out number 3. So the Rockies do get a couple of runs, or a couple of base runners. No runs, though, on 1 hit, couple walks, 1 left on. So we head to the top of the 3rd inning. It is 7-1 Atlanta, and we're back to the top of the order with Acuna. Hopefully we don't run out of spaces for people to hit. A 1-5 to a 28. 1-5 to a 28 is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. So the shortstop is Iglesias. He gets it over to Crone, and that's out number 1. Gomber looking for his first scoreless inning here, but we'll see how it goes. The 3-6 is going to be a walk off of the pitcher's side. So runner at first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up Ozuna. A 3-4 to Ozuna is going to be a double. Ozuna with his second double of the day. And that pushes the runner to third base. Let's go ahead and try to score with Swanson. A 1-7, and he's safe at home. Ron Washington sends him, and he is going to be safe at the plate. So an RBI double for Ozuna makes the lead 8-1. And you can never have too many runs at Coors Field, so we're going to go ahead and just pile them on if we can. And Riley stands in. Here's a 5-6 to a 2-4. And that's going to be a hit by pitch or a walk. So that's a walk. And that puts runners at first and second. Ozzie Albies to the plate. A 3-4 from Albies. Also going to be trouble. So a 3-4 is a home run chance or a strikeout. The D9 is a 7 and not an 8. And so that is going to be a 3-run shot by Ozzie Albies to deep right center field as he connects with a breaking ball and drills it into the night, going the opposite way against the left-hander. So that is going to end Austin Gomber's day. The Austin Gomber experience is now over. So let me go ahead and find a new pitcher for the Rockies, and I'll get that right now. All right, new pitcher is going to be Ty. I'm not sure if it's Black or Block. Blach. He's got a 4.68 FIP, so it's not going to be much better. But he did get into the game mostly because basically the same thing happened to Gomber in the actual game. I mean, he's given up 11 runs here in the first 2 and a third, and in the actual game he did go 5 innings. Gomber did, but he gave up 9 earned runs, 2 home runs. So this is actually shaping up to be very similar. The game was 13-6, I believe, and the Braves just went off in this one. So we got a new pitcher. I'm gonna say Block because that's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like Black. So I'm gonna go with Ty Block. He's another left-hander. He is also going to be pitching out of this third column. So 1-4s, 3-6s, those are going to be rough numbers, and they come up quite a bit. But let's see if he can weave in and out of traffic here. Olson stands in. Bases are cleared after the Albies 3-run home run. And here's a 4-5. 4-5 is going to be no good, and that's going to be a deep shot to straightaway center, and Matt Olson is getting healthy with that one. That is back-to-back home runs for the Braves, and that's a solo bomb. Olson 1 for 1 now with 2 walks, 2 runs, and an RBI. Here is Darno, the catcher. It's a 2-6. 2-6 to a 0 is going to be a ground out. And that's right back to the pitcher. So the pitcher handles it over to first. And that's going to be out number 2. There's a 1-1 to Heredia. A 1-1 to a -7 is going to be a base knock. One of the few base hits in his column. And Heredia at first brings up Michael Harris. A 1-3 is going to be a ground out to the second baseman. Over to first. And Crone squeezes it for the out, but not before the Braves get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more in the third. So that's going to be 12-1 is our score. Black comes in and only gives up the 1 run, which is okay. And Ian Anderson goes back out for his third inning. He'll be facing off the top of the order, Connor Joe, Blackman, and CJ Crone. It's a 2-3, and it's going to be a ground out to the catcher. We do have an error check, so let's check that. That's going to be an error on the catcher, which is Darno, uncharacteristic of him. But we're going to go E2 as he picks up the ball, but he can't. It comes out of his hand as he tries to throw it. He can't get it to first. And so that's going to be a runner at first base with nobody out. And Charlie Blackman to the plate. A 1-2. 1-2 is going to be a ground out. But the runner does advance. So this is going to be a little chopper just past the mound. Only play for Swanson is going to be to first base. And the runner makes it to second on the fielder's choice. So that's going to be CJ Crone to the plate. Crone reached by an error in his last at bat, but he's got a runner in scoring position here. It's a 1-5 to a 21. That'll be a ground out to the first baseman, Olson, who takes it unassisted to the bag, and that's going to push the runner over to third base. So a runner at third with 2 outs, and Rogers to the plate. A 3-4. 3-4 to a -1 will be a double. So he reaches out and pushes one into the gap in right center field, and that's going to be an RBI double for Rogers. Rogers had a really good game, really good series against the Braves. One game he was 3 for 4, I believe. But the Braves ultimately swept this entire series in Colorado, so good series for the Braves. McMahon steps in. He grounded to first. His last at bat is a 3-6. That's going to be a walk off of Anderson's column. Third walk of the day for Anderson. And that puts runners at first and second base with 2 outs. There's a 1-4. 1-4 to a -1 would be a double. Yeah, so that's a big hit as the Rockies mount a little comeback here. And that's going to be an RBI double for Grichuk. Let's go and try to score McMahon from first. And he is in safe. So a 2 RBI double for Randall Grichuk. And that's 3 runs in the inning. And that makes it 12-4. Braves over the Rockies. And Iglesias is up with a man in scoring position. There's a 2-6 to a -1. 2-6 to a -1 will be a ground out to the shortstop. Swanson, no problems, as he gets it over to Olson for out number 3. But the Rockies do get 3 in the inning, and it is a slugfest at Coors Field. And so Block can go 12 batters. He's at 4 so far. We're going to leave him out there, see if he can try to hold things down a little bit. He'll be facing the top of the order: Acuna, Swanson, and Olson. Acuna 2 for 3 with a home run, a double, and 2 RBIs so far. So 2-5 to a 28 batting runs. It's going to be a fly out to left center field. Let's go ahead and check. And that's going to be an error on the left fielder. So not a good ball game here. We're not going to steal with Acuna being up by 100 runs. So we're going to play this a little bit more straight up. That's a 1-4 to a 9. That's going to be a double off of Block's card. I'm going to hold up Acuna at third, and that's going to be Ozuna to the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles. Here's a 1-4. That's going to be another double. So 3 doubles in the game for Ozuna as he knocks in 2 with that double. He gives the old chop as he stands up at second base. And that's 3 RBIs in the game. 3 doubles, 3 RBIs for Ozuna. That's a 2-5 to a 24. 2-5 to a 24 is going to be a fly ball to right center field. Let's check the error. No error on the play. So we're going to go F9 on the putout. That'll be out number 1. Ozuna stays at second base. So runner at second base with Albies coming to the plate. A 4-5. 4-5 to a 7 is going to be a fly ball to center field. And the center fielder Hampson puts that one away. Ozuna will remain at second base. There's a 4-6. 4-6 to a 33. And that's going to be a strikeout looking. Out number 3. The Braves do tack on 2 more, and they have not had an inning where they have not scored a run. It's not good. 11, 12, 14 to 4 is our score here in this ball game. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is Hampson, Servin, and then back to the top of the order with Connor Joe. Here's a 3-6 to a -5. That's going to be a walk. And I tell you, sometimes it's just painful to watch these guys in these last 2 columns. We do our best, but boy, it's painful to watch them. So we got a runner at first base. Servin, the catcher, is up. That's a 4-6 to a -4. 4-6 to a -4 would be a double play or a strikeout. Now that's going to be right back to the pitcher. And the pitcher is going to start the double play. It's a 1-6, a 1-6-3 DP. Turn by the pitcher Anderson, who helps himself out in the inning. 2 down now with no one on, and Connor Joe to the plate. A 1-3. A 1-3 is going to be a ground out, and that is right back to the pitcher again. He has to go to his right toward the third baseline. He scoops it. He turns, he fires, and that's going to be a nice play by Anderson. 2 nice plays in the inning as he throws up another scoreless inning on the Rockies. We head to the top of the 5th. It's going to be 14 to 4, and this is the bottom of the order for the Braves. It's d'Arnaud, Heredia, and Harris, still batting against Block. That's a 2-5, 2-5 to a 0. 2-5 to a 0, so fly out to left field. We do an error check, and there is no error, and so that's going to be out number 1. Heredia to the plate now. There's a 1-2. That's a ground out to the first baseman. So Chrome goes 3-1 on the putout as he flips it to Block, who's covering first. And 2 down now with Michael Harris, the second, coming up. He's 1 for 3 in this game. That's a 3-6. That's going to be a walk off of the pitcher column. Harris, quite the speedster, but we're going to keep him at first in this blowout of a game. And so it brings up Acuna. Acuna is 2 for 4. He reached on an error in his last at bat. It's a 1-3. A 1-3 is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. And so they're just going to go the short way. Go 6-4 on the putout. And so he's out by the fielder's choice. I guess that's technically the third out, huh? Okay. So 6-4 on the putout, and it will be no runs for the Braves that inning. So the first scoreless inning comes in the 5th for the Braves. So good job, Block. Block has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 batters, so he has reached his limit. And I'm pretty sure Gomber reached his limit. So we'll see about bringing in another pitcher for the Rockies. They did manage to get a little bit of length in the game, and we'll see how that goes. For Anderson, in the bottom of the 5th inning, he's going to be facing off against Blackman, Crone, and Rogers. That's a 5-6. 5-6 to a 0 is going to be a strikeout. So Anderson gets his first strikeout of the game, actually, which is a little surprising. Here's a 1-6 to Crone, and that's going to be a fly ball to left center field that Ozuna tracks down for out number 2. And that brings up Rogers to the plate. There's a 2-4 to a -1. That's going to be a strikeout as well. So 2 Ks in the inning for Ian Anderson as he puts away the Rockies. That's his second straight scoreless inning. And we head to the top of the 6th inning. It is 14-4. And let's bring in, there's not a lot going on here for the sort of long relievers. Let's bring in Chassin. He's a right-hander, and 488. He can throw to 8 batters. Now he's going to be batting in this last column. So 2-2 is bad, 1-4, 3-6. So the same issues persist for these pitchers, and we'll just see how he can do it. There's a lot of power up and through this lineup. So what is that? 2.2. So that's 4-5 innings. Okay, that gets us through 5. So Chassin is going to come in. He's got a 488 fifth. He can go 8 batters, and he'll be coming into the ball game here. Brings up Dansby, Swanson, Ozuna, and Riley in the top of the 6th inning. There's a 1-5 to a 9. 1-5 to a 9 is going to be a base knock for Dansby Swanson. Swanson with his 3rd hit of the day. He's got a single, he's got a double, he's got a triple, he has a walk, he's got a strikeout. The only thing he doesn't have is a home run. And Ozuna stands in. He is a 0 batting runs. That's a 2-5. 2-5 to a 0, be a fly out to center field. Let's check the error. There's no error on the play. Hampson makes the play out in center. Swanson's going to stay at first, and that brings up Austin Riley. Riley 0 for 2. He does have a couple walks and scored a couple of runs. He just happens to be on base at the right time. 3-4 to a 24 is going to be a home run chance. The D9 is a 7, so that means that he goes yard as he reaches down and he golfs one out to left field. And Chassin gets his first taste of the failure. And so that's going to be a 2-run bomb by Austin Riley. Brings in Dansby Swanson from first. And that makes our score 16-4. And it's Ozzy Albies to the plate. Here's a 5-6 to a 7. 5-6 to a 7 is going to be a strikeout. That'll be out number 2 in the inning. 2 already in for the Braves. Nobody on, and Matty Olson to the plate. There's a 3-5. 3-5 to a 33. That'll be a walk. So Matt Olson takes the free pass. That's his 3rd walk of the day. He does have a home run. He's 1 for 2 in 5 at bats, but 3 walks. So a 1-4 to a 0. That'll be a double off of the pitcher's column. Going to hold up the runner at third base. So it's going to be runners at second and third with 2 outs, and a 2-6 to a -7 2-6 to a -7 is going to be a ground out. A little nubber right in front of the plate, and the catcher is serving. He gets out quickly, and he jumps on it and gets it over to first. But the Braves do score 2 more, and the lead is now 9, 10, 16 to 4. 16 to 4 as Chassin gives up a 2-run homer to Austin Riley. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're at 22 batters here. Anderson can go 23 before he has to drop down. Obviously, dropping down for him would be coming into the last column. He's given up 4 runs over 5 innings, and let's see if he can go through one more. That's going to be a 2-4, 2-4 to a 0. 2-4 to a 0 is a double play or strikeout. So Anderson with his third strikeout in the last inning and a third. So a 3-6, 3-6 to a -1 would be a walk here. And walks have been an issue for all the pitchers today. Iglesias, 3-6, so back-to-back walks here for Anderson. I'll try to limp him through this inning, and hopefully with a 12-run cushion, he won't give up the farm. It's a 4-5 to a -5. 4-5 to a -5 is going to be a fly out. That's a fly ball to left field. Ozuna is there, and he reaches up and makes the play for out number 2. Both runners are going to hold, and brings up the catcher Servin. Servin is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 2nd inning. That's a 2-4 to a -4, which is a double play or strikeout, and so Anderson gets another strikeout. That's his 4th K of the day, and he gets out of that inning. 3 straight scoreless innings for Anderson against the Rockies, and he has officially crossed his threshold. So the next time he comes out, he would have to be in this column here. I think we'll just bring in another pitcher. We're going to leave Chassin in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll leave him in for one more inning, see if he can get through the 7th. And it's going to be a 2-3 to Harris, which would be a ground out with an error check. That's a grounder to the second baseman. Second baseman is Rogers, and he makes the play over to first for out number 1. Here's a 4-6 to Acuna. A 4-6 to a 28 batting runs will be a double play or a strikeout. So Chassin gets the strikeout for out number 2. And Swanson stands to the plate. Swanson is looking for a home run for the cycle. He's not going to get it here. A 2-4 to a 9 is going to be a strikeout looking. So Chassin comes in admirably in the 7th inning and finally provides some relief. So only the 2nd scoreless inning for the Braves, and we head to the bottom of the 7th. Going to get a new pitcher for Atlanta, so let me find that pitcher and bring him into the game. All right, the new pitcher for the Braves is going to be Dylan Lee, a young left-hander. He's got a 3.55 FIP and can go 6 batters, so he'll be pitching out of this 2nd column here. He'll be facing off in the top of the Rockies order, be Connor, Joe, Charlie Blackmon, and CJ Crone. Joe, 0 for 3. He does have a run scored. That's a 2-5 to a 4. 2-5 to a 4 is going to be a fly ball to center field with an error check. And the center fielder is Harris. No problem for him as he squeezes it for out number 1. That's a 2-5 to a 0. And a 2-5 to a 0 will also be a fly out to left field this time. And Ozuna is up to the task. That's going to be a fly ball to left. And it is CJ Crone to the plate. So 5-6 against Lee. And Crone is a 21, so that's going to be a walk from the young left-hander. And Crone is at first with Rogers to the plate. Rogers is 1 for 3. He had an RBI double. There's a 2-6. 2-6 to a -1 will be a ground out to Dansby Swanson. He goes 6-3 on the putout. And another scoreless inning for the Rockies as the Braves gave up 4 early, but have clamped down on the Rockies in this one. It is 16-4, top of the 8th inning, and we're going to need to bring in a new pitcher for the Rockies. Okay, so the new pitcher for the Rockies is Colome, and he's a right-hander, 3.94 FIP, and really just a one-inning guy, so we'll see if he can. He might be able to squeeze out two. He'll be pitching from this second column here, and so maybe a little bit of relief finally for the Rockies. You can see that's a lot of activity there for Colorado. Yeah, he'll be facing Ozuna, Riley, and Albies. 6-6 to a 0 will be a long single. Ozuna's speed is not good, so, and with nobody on base, that's just a base knock. So there's a 2-6 to a 24 batting runs. That's going to be a single with an error check, so that's a base hit up the middle. No error on the play. And back-to-back singles for the Braves have runners at first and second, and it's Ozzie Albies to the plate. Albies with a 3-run home run and an RBI single back in the first inning. There's a 3-6. 3-6 for the first time. This game is not a walk, and so 3-6 to a 7 will be a fly ball. That's what happens when the good pitchers are there. It's just a fly ball. It's a fly out to center field. Center fielder Hampson puts it away, and it's going to be Matty Olson to the plate. A 2-5 to Olson, who is a 33 batting runs. 2-5 will be a fly out to center field with an error check. Possible error. The center fielder is Hampson, and he's a good one. And so that's going to be second straight out recorded by Hampson. Still, nobody advancing here, so runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Travis d'Arnaud to the plate. It's a 1-5. A 1-5 to a 0 is going to be a base hit. So, I'm not going to try to score anybody. Just move everybody up. And Heredia to the plate. I'm going to make it as tough as I can on the Braves to score from this point on. So 1-2 is a ground out. This will be a ground out to the shortstop. And the shortstop Iglesias over to Crone at first. Puts away the Braves. And that's going to be 2 scoreless innings. 3 out of the last 4 have been scoreless for the Braves, but you can see they put up a lot of crooked numbers early. So good job by Colome, who comes in and stops the bleeding at least. For Dylan Lee, he is at 4 batters. He can go 6, so he's just going to complete the game here. He might even just complete the game. We'll see. So bottom of the 8th inning, it's going to be McMahon, Grichuk, and Iglesias for the Rockies. It's a 6-6. 6-6 to a 0 is going to be a long single. And he turns that into a hustle double right out of the box as he knocks it down the third baseline, pulls it over Matt Olson, over his head, and Heredia's there, doesn't have a great arm, and he slides safely in to second. So a double for McMahon brings up Grichuk. Grichuk is 0 for 1, or actually he's 1 for 1 with a couple of walks and a double. Here's a 2-5 to a -1. 2-5 to a -1 is going to be a fly out to right field. The error check on Heredia is good, and so that's going to be out number 1. Iglesias, he is 0 for 2. Shortstop for Colorado. 3-5 to a -1. 3-5 to a -1 is going to be a strikeout. So there's a K for Dylan Lee. And that brings up Hampson. Hampson is 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. A 1-3 to Hampson, who's a -5, is going to be a ground out to Dansby Swanson. And he gets it over to Olson at first, and that's going to be out number 3. So the Rockies get a leadoff double from McMahon, but they can't move him around. And that's going to be scoreless inning number 5 for Colorado. So we head to the top of the 9th inning. And Colome. Let's go ahead and bring in one more reliever for the Rockies. I really don't want to have to deal with any more runs like that. So let's bring him in and see who we can get. Okay, coming into the game for the Rockies is Daniel Bard, 414 FIP, so he will actually be pitching out of the same second column here, and he's a right-hander. I think he's been mostly closing for them. He's going to see if he can close out the Braves in this game. All right, so he'll be facing off against Harris, Acuna, and Swanson. And it's going to be a 4-5, a 4-5 to a -5 will be a fly out to center field for out number 1. The rookie now 1 for 5 in this game. There's a 1-6, and it's going to be a fly out to center field for Acuna. And that brings up the final batter for the Braves, Dansby Swanson. It's a 2-3. 2-3 is going to be a ground out with an arrow check, so a grounder to the shortstop. And the shortstop Iglesias is up with it over to first for out number 3. So let's get a new pitcher sign in here. Okay, so 3 up, 3 down for Bard in the top of the 9th inning. Braves are up 16-4, and we are headed to the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be Servin, Joe, and Blackman. Let's go ahead and just leave Lee in there. So he is at 6 innings. So far, Lee has gone 2 innings, and we'll push him one more. He's going to be pitching out of this third column. Hopefully, the wheels don't fall off. We'll see. It's a 4-5 to a -4. That's going to be a fly ball to right center field that the center fielder Harris takes care of. So we're going to call that F8 out in right center field. Here's a 3-3 to Connor Joe. A 3-3 to a 4 is going to be a home run. So Connor Joe releases a little frustration, tattoos the ball to left center field, and it gets over the wall for another run. So now 16-5. And here's another 3-3. 3-3 to a 0. Going to be the same result. So back-to-back as Charlie Blackman goes straight away right, pulls the ball into the Colorado night. And let's go ahead and bring in another pitcher. So Lee is done. And let's see what we got here. For Atlanta, who can we bring in to clean up a mess? We'll say Jesse Chavez. He's a righty. He's got a 3.77 FIP. Go 5 batters, so he's going to be pitching out of this column here. Lee goes 2 1/3. And we're going to try to get out of this one. So 16-6. 16-6 is our score. It's CJ Crone now with 1 out and nobody on. That's a 6-6 to a 21. That'll be a long single, and he's going to turn that one into a hustle double. So Crone at second base with Rogers standing in. It's a 4-6 to a -1. 4-6 to a -1 is a double play or a strikeout, so that's going to be a K for out number 2. 2 down now. Crone at second base and McMahon to the plate. McMahon doubled in his last at bat. There's a 1-4 to a 0. So there's a blank there, and a 1-4 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk. That's a walk from Chavez. So runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Randall Grichuk to the plate. Grichuk had a 2 RBI double early in the game. It's a 4-4 to a -1. That'll be a single. And that's going to push everyone around. Let's go ahead and try to score the run from second base. 1-6, he's safe. And he'll be safe at the plate. So a run scoring single from Randall Grichuk makes the score 16-7. There's a 1-5 to a -1. 1-5 to a -1. Another single. So all of a sudden the Rockies are getting hot here. And let's go and try to score McMahon. 1-6, he's safe, and he is safe at the plate. And so it's back-to-back RBI singles for the Rockies, and that makes the score with 2 here. It's going to be 5-6, 16-6. I'm sorry, 4, 7, 8, 16-8. And with 2 outs and 2 on, Hampson is going to fly out to left center field on his horse. Is Ozuna, but he does get there and he makes the play, and that is your ball game. They do score 4 in the 9th inning. So let's tally up these totals: 4, 7, 8, and 11, 12, 14, 16. So our final is 16-8. Braves over the Rockies. And like I mentioned before, the actual score of the game was not too far off. It was 13-6. That was the actual score in the ball game. Let me go ahead and tally up all of the totals, and we'll come right back with those. All right, and we're back with the game totals. Where do you even start in a game like this? I think the tale of the entire game starts here with Austin Gomber, who takes the loss. And Anderson gets the win as he goes 6 innings. Gomber 2 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 11 runs, 6 walks, and 3 Ks. Block came in, 4 hits and 3 runs. Each reliever progressively got better and better for the Rockies, but boy, these 3 at bats just killed them. For Anderson, 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 6 walks also, and 4 Ks. Lee came in and gave up 3 hits and 2 runs. Chavez came in and gave up 3 hits and 2 runs as well. The entire heart of the order was feasting today. Acuna 2 for 7 with a couple of RBIs. He had a leadoff home run in the game. 3 for 6 is Swanson with 4 runs scored. Did not have any RBIs, but he was the one on base every time everybody else was knocking runs in. Ozuna 4 for 6, had 3 RBIs and 3 doubles. For Riley, it was a 2 for 4 day ho-hum with a couple of RBIs. He had a 2-run dinger in the 6th inning here. Big game from Ozzie Albies. Only 2 hits and scored 2 runs, but he had 5 RBIs. Every hit mattered. So he had an RBI single, he had an RBI ground out, he had a 3-run bomb in that 3rd inning. And it was just, 4 for 6 for Darno. Couple singles, couple doubles. And even Michael Harris with an RBI single down at the bottom of the order. For the Rockies, the notables here are Grichuk, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. He had an RBI double and an RBI single. He also got on with a couple of walks. Lots of walks here, especially here for McMahon and Grichuk. Back-to-back home runs here for Joe and Blackman in the 8th inning. Put the Rockies... I'm sorry, it was the 9th inning. Part of that 4-run 9th inning. And that's really the tale of the tape. I guess if I have to choose a player of the game, maybe Ozzie Albies for the player of the game. 5 RBIs is impressive. He did have a home run, and he scored 2 runs on top of that. All right, so this was an ugly one, and sometimes they get that way. Both starting pitchers were coming out of the next to last column for the pitchers, and sometimes you get lucky, like here, Block only gave up 3 runs. Sometimes everything just seems to be snowballing around you. Again, the actual score was 13-6. Braves over the Rockies, so actually not too far off from the actual game. All right, that's all that we have here. If you want to purchase On Base Baseball, you can go to onbasebaseball.com, and you can pick up any number configurations of the game. Some with the game engine chart, like I'm using here. Some have the outcomes right on the cards themselves, so sort of you get an option there of what you want to choose. If you have any comments or questions about this particular game or the overall game On Base in general, please leave them down in the comments section below, and I will get to them as quickly as possible. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you should do that. I'm putting out content very regularly, and most games are more entertaining than this one. But I have the replay going. I also am trying out some new games. I'm creating some new games, Yaya Tabletop Baseball, and also there's another game in the wings that I'm working on, creating the components for. That's kind of, I guess, more of a classic type of game with charts and some other things. So just trying my hand at something a little bit more classic, but also with the kind of a modern twist to it. So we'll see how that turns out as it goes along. Hopefully by sometime this year, that'll be ready to demo and try. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can like it for anything: the audio quality, the announcing, the game itself, or On Base. Just, every time you click like, YouTube takes notice, and it allows the video to go a little bit farther, and every little bit to get the hobby out in front of more people, right, is going to help. So that's an easy thing that you can do to support me and the channel. I really do appreciate how everyone has supported this game and all the others that I've created so far. So that's it here. Atlanta defeats Colorado 16-8 in a Coors Field massacre. And that's going to be it for here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.